So it is now time for our penultimate race of the 2025 Chrono Karting Dutch Championship. And we turn our attention to KZ2 Masters. The title pretty much has been wrapped up by the man on the outside of the front row, Jeroen Bos. As Sam Clays will start from pole position, Jeroen Bos will be alongside on the front row. Glenn Vandenhoek, the outgoing champion, starts on the inside of row number 2. Anders Elkje from Denmark joins him on said row, with Nicky Burhenne and Sebastian Koppenol rounding out row 3. Mark Verhoeven and Bas Schulten round out row 4, with Alan Kenyon and Edgar Oosting completing your top 10. Benno Ridder, Bas Steen, Mick Bertram, Mike Hendricks, William Klooster, Alexander Hommerson, Leon Kaldijk, Rickards Kounsiems, Chris Vandenbroek, Hans Christian Pedersen rounding out your top 20. Martin Versteeg, Jarek Quirinen, Wesley de Waal, Niels Bolo, William van der Gaai, Owen Jalving, who did not start the pre-final, and Etienne Stoller rounding out your 27-strong grid. Looks like we'll have two non-starters, Jarek Quirinen and Owen Jalving. So, red flag shown at the front of the grid. Very shortly, we should have the signal to go racing. Let's see. Green flag waves at the back. Drivers instructed for the final time to look at the 4 red lights as the KZ2 season finale gets underway right now. Good start from Sam Clays from the inside of the front row. As a plume of spray, there's a little bit of pinballing in the mid-pack as they go through into turn number 1. Couple of drivers here or there trying to make their way through, as the water is not making it easy. It's 3-4 wide going into turn 4 at the first lap, and a couple of drivers hitting that splash puddle in the middle of turn 5. But at the moment, Sam Clays holding on. Someone's gone straight on at turn 6 off of the Europelaan. And Jeroen Bos keeps it round the outside. That's Mark Verhoeven up on the inside of him. And for the moment, stays in front. Well, Sam Clays absolutely launched it off the line and is comfortably ahead. Meantime, I think that's Anders Elkje up the inside of Mark Verhoeven, going through into, we've got a yellow flag at Marshall Post 7. Now what's happened? It looks like someone might have gone straight off. And well, one's trying to start their cart. Well, Alan Kenyon has dropped all the way down to the bottom end of the order. So whether that might be Alan on the Sodi cart. Don't think that if that cart hasn't fired up, then unfortunately the Brit is not going anywhere. Steen has dropped 10 places in the early exchanges here in this final race of the championship season. But no, it's Sebastian Coppenol that got through on Mark Verhoeven, who has also been passed by Edgar Oosting, who's made up 6 places and now is charging after Jeroen Bos, who's down to P3. So Sebastian Coppenol is going to try and close in on Sam Clays over the next 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Alan Kenyon has got the cart going again. So 25 starters, and Sam Clay's lead is now 2.7 seconds and climbing. Rickards Kaunziem's up 4 spots from 18th. Wesley Duval, where has this form suddenly come from, my good sir? Up 10 spots and now is up to P13. Glenn Vandenhoek didn't get the best start in the race either. The outgoing champion now 5 places down and is currently 8th at the moment on the road. And there is Edgar Oosting through at turn 8 on Jeroen Bos. So the move has happened for P3. Jeroen Bos won't let Edgar Oosting get away with that one, though, if he gets the opportunity to fire it back up the inside of him. Oh, and cart 112, Benno Ridder. Start procedure infraction, 3-second time penalty. But now it is the case. And over the next 9 minutes plus 2 additional laps. What's going to happen from here? Right, Mike Hendricks and Rickards Kaunziem's. There's a yellow flag at Marshall Post 2. Someone is stuck on the outside of 3. And that is a big, big moment. So that is on the outskirts of turn 3. Driver getting out of the cart. And is trying to get that moving again. So someone's had a big old off at turn 3. Code Brown trying to get that cart started again and gets the cart fired up. So who was said driver that had a proper 180 backwards moment? That is going to be, I think, Alexander Homerson in the 195. That cart has now plummeted. So there's a real shame for Alexander, who had really, really been up at the sharp end of the field. But Sam Clays at the moment for Belgium Racing. The team that helped Jaden Teen win the DSKC, the German Shifter Kart Championship, part of the Deutsche Kartmeisterschaft this year, and also ran Siete van Meert. So Sam Clay's really, really showcasing how strong this outfit is as soon as they get that kart dialing on a sixpence when it comes to the setup side of things. But this driver launched it off the line and has made sure that no one else is going to have a sniff at a victory in the final race of the season. Okay, another violation. Mick Bertram, same start procedure infraction, 3-second time penalty to be added to Bertram's race time at the end of this particular adventure in the saturated circus we call karting Genk. Well, I wouldn't call it a circus, no. It's more the case of it's become so saturated, things have ended up being circus-esque, you know, mainly because of the fact that we are having drivers that are trying to get round corners and either the back end's not being compliant and will rotate the kart at the moment's notice, as we have in this battle here. There's Glenn van den Hoek, and that is Bas Schulten just in front in the 197. Anders Elkjær in the 194. Birlart is right behind the pair. So Elkjær has an opportunity of maybe getting into the top 6 by the end of this race. That will depend on how the drivers circumnavigate their way around the circuit here at the Home of Champions. It's not going to be easy for any one of them. Glenn van den Hoek gets through. Great move there, but Bas Schulten now trying to apply the pressure to get that position back. Anders Elkjær stuck the nose up the inside. I think there was a little bit of a touch between the pair. And now, Bas Schulten sideways out of turn 13, flat chat, full throttle, and holds it. So the drivers are getting down to the last few moments of this race. Just over 4 minutes to go. And the drivers still are pushing like absolute stalwarts. This is why I respect every single driver in the paddock, irrespective of their age, irrespective of what class they decide to go for. As Anders Elkjær, look to sneak up the inside of Bas Schulten through at turn number 11, nearly echoing what Glenn van den Hoek did just a lap ago. Mike Hendricks has just retired from the race on lap 5, I'm afraid. So two DNSs, so 2 non-starters, 1 DNF. And Anders Elkjær, will he get through to the outside? Bas Schulten, nearly got through, nearly. Tried for the outside line coming out of turn number 2, and the 194 ended up keeping the position. But it was close. And 3 minutes remaining on the timer, plus those additional 2 laps. That still gives Bas Schulten the opportunity to get through on Anders Elkjær. Whether he is successful in doing so, we'll have to wait and see on that one, folks, because nothing's quite yet set in stone, to be fair. So Alan Kenyon, despite that moment earlier, has managed to get the kart back up to 16th. Now, he started 11th on the grid. So a drama at turn 12, saw the Brit go off, and then have to deal with a bit of a comeback situation. Or as some people would say, a top gear from the rear. And to close on in on the opponents up front. Sam Clays continues on his way with 1 minute and 20 plus 2 additional laps remaining. And the lead now is nearly 9.7 seconds at this point in the race. Edgar Oosting and Jeroen Bos still battling for the final step on the top 3. With it going the way of Oosting. Other changes that have happened. Hans Christian Pedersen now up into P14. Wesley de Waal, last year's runner-up in the 123. Well, he's up 11 spots. He's 2 places away from that illustrious top 10. But Sam Clays goes on to the last couple of laps remaining on the time, well, last couple of laps to go, make that 2, including this. So Sebastian Coppenol, 11 seconds back. It's going to be a near formality. Jeroen Bos is effectively going to become the champ, is going to be pretty much the champion. But the way that Sam Clays has pulled away in the 159 from Belgian Racing, but Edgar Oosting has caught up with Sebastian Coppenol. And we've got about 3 kilometres of racing still to go in this instance. So more to the point, can Edgar Oosting put a move on Sebastian Coppenol, as we are now, well, that's effectively 11.6 seconds. But as the lead as things stand. So not much longer to go in the season for KZ2 Masters, as Edgar Oosting really starting to put Sebastian Coppenol under pressure for that runner-up step on the rostrum. And Oosting sees a window of opportunity, nearly got through at that point, but Coppenol able to counter-attack the 124. But next time around, we have 1.36 kilometres to go. Sam Clays now on the final lap of this race. And can Edgar Oosting get the slipstream out of the final corner? He's right on the rear of Sebastian Coppenol. Oosting to the inside. And he gets through before they hit the apex of turn 1. Gets a little bit of a love tap on the right rear. But Edgar Oosting gets through on Sebastian Coppenol at turn 1 on the last lap of the race. And more to the point, I'm going to say this. Jeroen Bos has got Glenn Vandenhoek breathing down the back of his race overalls. Vandenhoek is closing and got really, really late on the brakes through turn 6 and 7. But this time around, Sam Clays up and down the gearbox goes the 159. And it is going to be a victory for this man to remember. Sam Clays wins the final race of the championship season. And his winning margin, it's not going to be over Sebastian Coppenol. It's going to be over Edgar Oosting, as Glenn Vandenhoek is going to try and power past Jeroen Bos across the line. Will he get it done? No, not quite. Kart length between them. But there is your race winner, Sam Clays. Jeroen Bos in 4th, just edging out Glenn Vandenhoek, is your 2025 Chrono Karting KZ2 Masters champion, the man that came back from injury, had a knee brace and crutches. He's come back and he's won the top prize in Dutch KZ2 Masters shifter class here at the home of champions. But more to the point, Sam Clays, you earned that victory, and congratulations to him and the crew at Belgium Racing in the 159. That was a hell of an effort. He pulled away after the whole shot at the start, but more to the point, he takes the winner's top step. So very shortly, there are your results. Sam Clays winning ahead of Edgar Oosting. A Sodi Kart 1-2 ahead of Sebastian Koppenol, Jeroen Bos, Glenn Vandenhoek, Anders Elkier, Bas Schulten, Neki Berhene, Benno Ridder, Mark Verhoeven, Wesley de Waal, Alan Kenyon, William van der Guy, William Klooster, Hans Christian Pedersen, Etienne Soler, Bas Steen and Martin Versteeg. Rounding out your top 18 drivers, Chris van der Broek, Ricard Kaunseems and Leon Kaldijk rounds out the top 21. Niels Böhler did not finish the race, but finished ahead of Alexander Homerson. And that concludes KZ2 Masters, as it's time for Jeroen Bos to go for the ceremonial lap of honour.